Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number...
CXI 111.
Is that like the new investigative criminal thing? CXI?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who we're brought to you today by...
Apparently, attempting to name your new niece Sigourney is not going well.
Yeah, why not, though?
It's like, somehow that name's not taken off. Never mind, she's a brilliant actress. Tomorrow, Chris and Kaylin's sister is going in for a C-section, and my brother's wife, Laura, is due in a couple of weeks. So the Nix Lopez family is about to expand a bit more.
Jeez, that's... I don't know how I feel about... Yes, I do know how I feel about that. I wouldn't know what
Avuncular as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, Asians don't like to have C-sections because they only make straight A's. Well, Steve, what are we drinking today?
Pithead.
I love Hellraiser. How do you know it's not Pythede?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Either way, the mascot is a bird in a helmet, so I've got the Hazy IPA, you have the West Coast IPA. Not yet being consumed at this hour is the Session IPA and American IPA. That was the latest in Aldi finds when it's $13 for a 12-pack. Act fast while supplies last.
Mine's 6%. Yours is?
6.
Are they all 6?
The Session
4 or 5?
4.
5, 6. Okay. You know the drill, Steve.
We got the two strongest ones.
1, 2, 3.
Quoi? Je ne peux pas français, bon frère.
What is 1, 2, 3 in German? It's
1, 2, 3.
3. Okay.
Prost.
Take. Yep, totally good.
Yeah, it was courtesy of the first visit to Shop 4 Wheel Swap that I discovered. The Aldi had that.
Gotcha.
But I wasn't dragging that across 218.
No.
So I ended up finding it again and bought every 12-pack I could find.
Yeah. We're also having Woodford Double Oaked. It's a whiskey that likes oak so much, it got re-oaked. I think what they do with this one
It's big in Raleigh, the Oak City.
Why is it called the Oak City?
Trees. I mean, there's a giant statue of an acorn in downtown Raleigh.
That's nuts. I think what they do with this one is...
Sounds like that new Planters ad campaign, A Nut Above, which makes my inner 12-year-old giggle every time I see that ad.
It should. So they do the regular Woodford barrel, how many ever years they do, and then they finish it, I think, for another 10 or 12 months in a second charred oak barrel. And if some wood is good, more wood is better. Hey-o.
How much wood could Woodford reserve if a Woodford could reserve?
Yeah, that. I mean, it's very wood forward, but I like it. Well, Steve, we haven't been here for about, I guess, is it 3 weeks? 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Anything exciting going on at work, life, home?
Got a shout out at work for whatever it is I'm doing. They seem to like it, so that's nice.
Yes. It was like a not employee of the month thing, but
this was like during the quarterly meeting where it was like all hands tech services that I got a shout out.
Gotcha. Cool. How many
Sweet.
people are there that do your job?
2.
Okay, good. Well,
There's me, there's Will, and Ryan had been doing it, but he switched departments, so he's more specialized in the photo stuff and travels a lot more.
I always thought it would be fun to travel until I made friends with Sean Preston.
Yeah, and he was gone a lot.
A lot. And
now he's gone much more recreationally.
Yeah, it's still he still gets those surprise, hey, next week you're going to go to,
Frog Balls, Arkansas. Best
Yeah.
town George Carlin made up.
I forgot about that, actually. So we had a trio practice, and then drummer's like, we got our new schedules
This
out.
is our new band, Digital Collision.
And it was a pretty productive practice, but then the drummer's like, well, bad news, I have to work every Friday for the next 6 months and every other Saturday night. Every Friday night and every other Saturday night.
So all the best gig nights is going to be real difficult.
Yep, and I have messaged at least 6 to 8 people about, and just nobody has the time. This is why I've played solo and duo so much. It's so hard to coordinate schedules with people. I got one guy off Craigslist who's played in a band called Thirsty Horses or something, but he seems promising about drumming. Like, I don't want to wait forever, so
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out. I guess Lev's still going to be willing to play bass for us too. So I got a trio show potentially on September 30th at Piedmont Social House, so I want to get that booked. I'm thinking about booking it anyway, and
that's one in Pineville, right?
Yeah, I think it has a Charlotte address because it's so far out past Pineville. It's off. You get off on
Steel Creek.
Not quite Steel Creek, but you got the right idea. It's like you get off on what's the name of that road?
Westinghouse or South Tryon.
You get off on South Tryon Street. So
that
yeah,
puts it really close to my company's latest acquisition that I'll be doing some work out of there too.
Oh.
And also discovered there's a Max speed shop out that way. And also Concord Mills is gaining one soon where Sticky Fingers had been.
I didn't realize Sticky Fingers wasn't there anymore.
Me neither, but that's now where the closest Max speed shop besides one of Matthews will be.
They will do well there.
Yes.
I have not been to Concord Mills area in probably 3 years.
So you haven't been on the Arc?
No.
The big flyover bridge?
Yep, have not.
And that turn sneaks up on you in a hurry.
In your car, not a big deal. In the Jeep, could be a big deal.
A bit harrowing. I did see a doppelganger of your Jeep at Costco.
Oh, really?
White Jeep, black fenders, front doors off.
Oh, nice. It's too damn hot to have the doors off now. And I want to wash the fucking thing, but it's raining every other day now.
Yeah.
Oh, my gig got canceled at Pilot yesterday, so I didn't play. I don't know if you saw that on FaceTube or not, but
no, it looked a lot more threatening than it wound up being at my place. So it's 5 minutes from here. It's it's thundering, but there's no rain this time. Else it could have grilled yesterday. Instead, Kaylin prepped the chicken cashew casserole for future usage.
Ooh.
We wound up eating the sausage and white bean orecchiette pasta, and tonight we're going to be grilling.
Is it? She
Doing a
used
lot of,
unsalted cashews for that, I assume, right?
Yeah. You could do either or, but I figure there's going to be enough salt in the dish that it's not going to matter.
Right, and your seasoning, and a lot of seasonings that are grouped together have salt in them too, so you don't want to. It's like using what's the word with the not unsalted, but unsweetened coconut in dish. You're going to put so much sugar in the cake anyway. You don't need sweetened coconut. But no, got that little cabinet that's loud enough to knock you down.
I haven't yet partaken in the half-off wings things at Chex Grill, but that's today and tomorrow where they're offering 50% off.
And where's the nearest Chex?
To here, I'll get back to you, but there's one near work in Concord. There's also one at University.
It's too bad this also doesn't allow outside food inside.
Yeah, I figured, by this math, this means I could get 100 wings in 4 different flavors for $63.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I will totally eat reheated. Actually, you know what? There's not anything I really won't reheat. Maybe shoestring fries they don't even toaster oven very good. But actually, you know what? You could just make hash browns out of them.
Boom. Repurpose them, then heat them up.
But also, I've never had leftover shoestring fries.
Yeah, because they don't last that long.
No, they don't.
They're small, so they fit in your face better.
What's the brand name of the really skinny potato string that look like really skinny fries? You know what I'm talking about? It's not Andy Caps, but it was like a tin of fries, but chips, and they were like toothpick size.
Potato sticks? I think it's just called potato sticks.
I think you're right. I don't remember the last time I saw that.
I do, because I ventured out to the new Ollie's in Monroe, and they had 10 of those for $2 or something silly.
Which I still haven't been to an Ollie's yet. You said Ollie's was
in case Big Lots is too fancy for you, go there.
So they have
the one in Matthews is decent.
So they have furniture, but then they also have snacks and shit.
It was a complete random bunch of stuff, but housewares, kitchen gear, patio furniture, clothing, cheap electronics, very basic automotive stuff, shitty spray paint, mattresses, carpet. It's a weird smattering of things, and it's kind of a here today, gone today sort of thing.
I got you. So Tuesday mornings kind of
that,
except it's tries to be fancier.
It's double the price, but yes.
Yeah.
Tuesday morning I keep being disappointed by. There's actually a clearance department at a Tuesday morning. The whole store appears to be a clearance aisle.
Yeah, that's a little on the nose, isn't it? No, the gig got canceled. Now I love Rachel. Rachel's cool as hell, and Pilot's got great beer. I don't really think they should have had all 3 giant big events for their anniversary party all in the same time slot. So there was no room to put us inside.
Oh dear.
Like, so 2 people had to be, and then after an hour after she canceled, she's like, "Well, we can make room for you inside. You know, if you." I was like, "Look, I've already unpacked everything. Sorry, I've already unpacked everything. You know, I've already made plans with Brian to go to Poor. I already told Toby it's off. I already canceled it on social media. I was like, it's
over, Rack.
It's over. It's over.
We'll try again another time.
It's all good. I don't. There's no ill will. There's no nothing. It was just like I was in the mood to play, but then when I found out, oh, we're not playing, that pretty much negated, and I unloaded everything. So I had 2 this week. I had 2 last week. I had Wednesday, Friday. So, you know, I was like, you know what? I haven't had a Saturday off in 6 fucking weeks. So actually, probably since we got back from Denver. So,
yeah, that's been a while.
So I was like, you know what? I'll take the night off. I deserve it. By the way, I was looking to book my solo vacation trip in this month or next month. Normal, you know, I've been doing it for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? Haven't been to Portland, Maine. Has the most breweries per capita in the United States. So I was like, you know what? That'd be cool. Fly up, brewery hop for a couple days, come home. The cheapest package I could find after Labor Day, which is usually a cheaper time to go, Tuesday through Friday, was $1,400 for just me. The cheapest hotel. And it was a La Quinta Inn. And I broke it down. The flight itself was only $350. Yeah. The hotel, a La Quinta Inn, was $1,000 for 3 nights.
Are they preemptively charging you for the Mike Birbiglia treatment that something's chasing your dream and you're going to jump out the second floor window?
Maybe.
They're just ready to have that window cost covered?
Maybe.
I mean, it's Maine. Can't you just rent a log cabin somewhere?
And it's not, like, September's not, it can't be that. And actually, the Airbnbs are the same thing. The Airbnbs, the cheapest one's like $275 a night.
I wonder if it's like good leaf hunting season up there, like a lot more tourists.
I would think
September,
early September wouldn't.
Like, yeah, it's that much further north of here, so that's the only thing I could think of.
But even
like, is it popular for lobster catching? Oh, hello, shirt.
I don't know. Like, I could go back to Vegas 3 times for that. So it's like that's probably going to be high up on my list at this point.
I need to check out that Two Kings Casino and.
Is it built yet? Like all the way built, like the big building, because it still looks like it's in a storage unit.
Yeah, Kings Mountain.
Yeah, also.
Yeah, I was trying to think like the place on the border that's not quite Shelby.
Yeah, is Shelby too classy for you? Well, we've got to see.
Funny that I met up with my old boss last weekend, 2 weeks ago, to get him computer stuff, and he said he was about to move to Shelby. Like, still working there? Yeah. What's that drive going to be like?
Yikes.
About a 45-minute drive from Shelby to North Lake.
So he's just moving. He's not moving. Why?
Well, he's trying to. Well, he just got remarried, and his wife can work wherever. Just trying to find a different place. Like that's a lot extreme, Kurt. Good luck.
And I still haven't been to brewery out Shelby way.
I can't think of it, but I know there is such a thing because hey, it's this state.
Every time I go through Shelby, I mean to stop there. I still have no idea where it is because every time you go through Shelby, you go down 74, and there's no, as far as I'm concerned, there's no other road. We usually stop at the barbecue joint, which is totally fucking good. So not as good as Lexington, but it is good. What's the name of that? We're going to do this without.
We're going to call this Cobras until further notice. Shelby Cobra Brewery.
Oh Lord! But no,
I have 15 tabs open.
Damn, Dad. The Reddit post is like, "What? I can't." My grandmother's like, "I can't figure out on my computer." And she has like 200 tabs running at the same time. You're like, "Yeah, this is probably why."
That's a lot much.
Yeah, that's probably why it's not. Emily's car is making weird noises, but still otherwise running fine because, well, it's 12 years old. And it's a northern car. We're going to take it in to have them look at it. Hopefully, this shop will actually look at it instead of going, well, what did you do to it?
You got the warranty. Now it's going to work for the warranty.
That covers the big stuff. So if it needs a new transmission or like rear end or front end or engine, It doesn't do it all the time, so it's not. It can't be super duper serious.
Does the stereo work?
Yes.
Turn it up.
Check engine light. Put the tape over it.
Hey man, with the 6 years I had the Pontiac Vibe, most of the time the check engine light was on. Only when it blinked was something actually wrong with it.
I don't see how you did that. That would drive me crazy. I have to fix stuff.
Oh, is that catalytic converter? I never changed on it, and then what did it in was it finally not being able to spend a weekend at Russ's and make it go away. It's like, okay, it's time.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, A, what happened to that car, and B, what the lowest mileage Vibe GT we could possibly find in the U.S. would be.
Don't know, but those cars, the odometer would stop at 299, 999.
On all of them?
Yeah. All the Vibes, all the Major Cs of that era.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. And it doesn't even make computer sense for that either.
No, because it's a computer.
Yeah.
It's not just the Rolly one would make more sense, because then we just put a 0, a 1, and a 2 on it, and then that's all we figured you would need.
Yeah.
Jeez. Actually, that doesn't even make sense, because those little things don't cost anything.
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous. So I wonder how many.
So if I were to still have that car, it would have crossed that mile marker.
And you could sell it for, this car's in really shitty shape to only have 7,000 miles.
No, the odometer would stop.
Oh, it just
it's not
stops
like
at
it wouldn't reset itself.
It just stops.
Like Matt Farah's Million Mile Lexus, that they had to give it that additional mile to officially make sure, yes, nothing happens after a bunch of nines.
Right.
And then Tavares has it as fixing it up.
Of course he is, because he has an absurd amount of cars now. Like he and Tyler Hoover are just. Except Hoover,
dude, that 49 Cadillac is the heat.
Yeah, although it's fucking sorry for the text. I can't answer you right now. So watch it be one of the guys from the trio be like, yeah, I can make it, or I can't make it. Like, I sent that message 5 hours ago. Thanks. But no, that's really well. The Dodge trucks only went up to
5 digits.
5 digits, and it didn't work anymore anyway. So neither did the fuel gauge or temperature gauge.
The only car I had with a janky odometer was the 89 GTI, but the digital trip computer would work. So I would use that to keep track of how many miles I put on a tank of gas.
That's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like total. Could you imagine taking the Vibe? Like you brought your car in last year, Steve, for an inspection, and it had the same amount of miles, 299,000. You haven't driven it.
Pay no attention to Trip Computer B, thank you. Because I had the A and B, double trip computer, so one has kept running, and then the other one I would reset every tank of fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Much like the Scion on the Corolla do the same thing.
Yep. I kind of miss the days, but you could roll back the odometers much more easily.
There requires much more computer malfeasance to achieve the same thing. It's possible, but it's much more difficult.
Yes, when there's a computer, there's a way, but it is more difficult.
Yeah, that said, I finally rehomed Dad's old computer yesterday.
Was that the one with Windows 8 on it?
This one still had a Windows Vista sticker on the chassis.
Oh, boy.
But I think it was running 8 or 10 by the end of it.
While we're in this area, explain to me, I do understand what an operating system is. What I don't understand, however, is the huge differences between your Vista, your Windows, your Mac. So it's just, explain it to me like I am an idiot. And what the operating system does.
It's going to be the basically background program that handles your applications. So if you have the compatible software that runs on the system, as time goes on, different features are added, different features are taken away, different aesthetics, different compatibilities, differences in hardware, just kind of move on with the times.
Okay. And just things get faster and more efficient. Okay.
Or in the case of software, everything gets bigger and more bloated.
Oh.
It's not exactly the automotive means of progress that the specifications of what a computer bought today has versus something 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. That's, yes, everything's going faster, but also the space required keeps creeping upward.
I guess the same way with automotive, actually, because things are getting needlessly more complicated.
Yep.
So,
and cars didn't have operating systems, so to say, until everything became more digitized and more sophisticated and more expensive to repair.
So what do you think the peak of automotive would be? Like the peak of automotive engineering, whereas it wasn't overly complicated, but it was also things were safer and better. It's got to be the early 2000s.
I would say the late 90s, early 2000s, totally.
Got to be. But you could still get in like your 2001 Integra, where the A pillars were maybe that big.
Don't roll it. Yeah.
Well, don't TVRs. Oh dear, there's no airbag. Don't crash it.
Yeah.
Don't see a problem there.
Yeah.
How many cars have you had that have had zero airbags?
The 89 Volkswagen, the 84 Blazer, by proxy the 87 Toyota pickup.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Had a couple cars that only had one airbag. That would be
Right.
the 97 Tacoma, 90 Volvo, 92 Volvo, 93 Camry.
Mm-hmm. I've only had three with both Starions and the Dodge truck, obviously. The Cherokee had dual airbags, which is bananas because it didn't even have anti-lock brakes.
97, I think, was the first year that truck-type vehicles required to have dual airbags.
Yeah. But I think my Wrangler now, I know it has dual, but I don't think it has side. No, it does have airbags in the seats because I had to unplug them when I took the seats out when I did the sound deadening and everything. So it does have the side curtain airbags.
See, also, things you don't want to be side impacted in.
Oh boy, no. Well, I have this.
It's like been there, done that, but that car had a pillar airbag instead, so it was like along the driver side of the ceiling is where that curtain airbag popped out.
Yeah, so at least I have the steel rock bars now. That's going to help better than the plastic.
That'll at least beat the shit out of whatever hits you.
Yes, although if they hit me hard enough, then I'll probably just tilt, so I'll get a concussion in the left side. So I won't be able to do math anymore, but I'll be able to draw really good.
You'll be me.
I accidentally got T-boned, and now I'm Steve. How did you like the Woodford?
That is delicious.
It is very woody, and that's about all I can say for it. It's just very woody. It's not cheap. It's not cheap for what it is. It's like $55. That's a lot for a Woodford, but it's fucking good. So
I keep thinking that sounds more like a wine name instead of a whiskey name.
Woodford Reserve. Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a really racist country club. But welcome.
You could have just said country club.
Also, yes. Well, Esteban, are you ready to do
pay no attention to the history of Quail Hollow.
Yikes. Are you ready to do the Huey Lewis?
And the news.
Actually, you have to do it like a Huey Lewis tune. You know, when you came out, when you told me you were on the way over, I thought you needed fridge space for beer, not for all your food. So I was like, what, did you bring a cube of something?
Nope. I had to make a Costco run and figure if I get out of here at 5:50, they close at 6 on a Sunday, and I've got stuff to pick up. So I actually made a $20 15-minute Costco run.
You cannot beat that.
Dude, that was the most stuffed I've seen that parking lot ever.
And that was Matthews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the park on the side of the building facing the Lowe's Garden Center.
Yeah, Emily and I yesterday for lunch went to Cantina Louie right there in, not the Costco parking lot, but it's right there where Starbucks and the McAllister's.
Upper part of that same area.
Lowe's, yeah. Totally all right.
Okay.
There's, you know what, if you want to go.
There's a Mediterranean joint in there that's really good.
Yeah, but.
Kebab Jay.
But also who I was having lunch with. Well, technically, Zoe's
yeah.
Kitchen's Mediterranean too.
Yeah, I was like, get a chicken pita.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah. So, moral of the story is, I just want to try a new Mexican joint. Moral of the story is, just go to Taxco and have yourself a blast.
Yeah.
For a lot cheaper too. Although I got the street tacos; they were pretty good. Her burrito wasn't bad, but she got it with no tomatoes, and I'm pretty sure they put a whole lot of extra tomatoes in that because it was chock full of tomatoes. It was like a tomato burrito. Like, I didn't even take it home with me to pick out, and I was like, this is too much. Like, I can eat a little bit of pico and stuff, but
Yeah.
like, as far as like a whole tomato and that much, it's like, get that shit out of here.
No, the real move is the cherry or grape tomatoes, the tiny ones.
Mm-hmm.
I like those better anyway.
I'm going hazy this time, Steve.
Nice. I'll get the West Coast so you can try one of the others if you're so inclined.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. All right. Steve, Jeep is expected to release their first all-electric model in 2024, and it's going to be called what?
The E by E.
No, there's no by nothing. It is simply a very silly name for what it...
Wait, it's Jeep, but with 3 E's.
It's Jeep with 4 more letters after that. It's the Jeep blank.
Stir.
Yep. It's the Jeepster.
Meanwhile, I was thinking the Mustang Mache should not have been labeled the Mache.
No.
It should have been called the Thunderbird.
Although you should just get...
If you're going to corrupt something, why not corrupt something that was already corrupted in the 70s? Have you seen what a 74 T-Bird looks like?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Although Thunderbird has an interesting... We should delve into Thunderbird history because that's fucking cool. It was cool. Then it was shit. And in the 80s, it was cool again. And in the 90s, it wasn't bad. I actually kind of liked the Thunderbird. And then in the 2000s, oof.
Everything new is old again and bloated.
When was the last time you saw a Ford Thunderbird of
One of
any
the-
vintage?
Typically, it's been those last ones with the convertibles.
Isn't that a
and
shame?
It wasn't Cars and Coffee. Yeah.
Because I like the 90s ones would 80s and 90s ones both fucking fly.
Yeah.
Like, 2-door, front engine, rear-wheel drive V8.
Uh-huh.
They would fly.
And
I mean,
it's, bigger than the everyday Mustang of the era.
yeah, I mean, I had Interior by Fisher-Price, but let's be honest, every car in the 90s had a shitty interior. Unless it was a high-end luxury car. Like, don't sit here and act like you're...
I liked my bargain basement Camry, thank you very much. Sunburnt dash and all. It had a tan interior, but like the top of it was like the upper level of plastic was done. So it looked like there was just this brown foam beneath it. It
Yeah.
was really strange.
Do you... I miss Honda's mouse down...
The really soft,
yeah, they had the best...
fuzzy interior they
Yeah.
had.
Well, the Jeepster will be between the size of the Compass and the Renegade, and they are saying prices will be in between $35 and $40,000 for an all-electric.
That's cheap for an EV.
It is, and I think they'll be able to get away with charging that because we all know
Pun
what's
intended.
you know what's coming probably in the late 2020s, early 2030s will be all-electric Wranglers. And they can charge as much as they want for that, and they'll sell every fucking one of them. So it makes a lot of sense that they could probably sell that thing for $40,000, probably fully loaded $50,000. But it's not a bad looking. If you want to pull it up and look at it, while you're doing that,
specify 2024 Jeepster instead of like a 1960s Jeepster.
somebody on 51, not 51, is it 51? Somebody nearby has the Scrambler decal package on their Gladiator.
Nice.
It's so fucking cool.
Was it white?
It was white with the orange and everything.
I think I saw that today.
Yes.
Like as I was leaving Costco, saw
Yes.
that. Like
that's cool as fuck.
Pass won't blast itself, but thank you for doing it.
It didn't have any range, but
Specified.
yeah, I'm writing down that. It's not a bad looking rig.
Funny that stylistically it kind of falls between
Both of
the
those.
Renegade and the Compass, and it's not a bad looking rig.
It's really not. Steve, we raise a dented canned toast to our fallen comrade after 2023. The Nissan Maxima is dead.
Aww.
Ugh.
I'm surprised it lasted this long, considering the V6 Ultima and the Murano exist.
But good news. The rumors are returning. It's going to return as an EV in the near future. So they're going to kill it all. But
The Maxima's dead. Long live the Maxima.
they haven't made a good-looking Maxima since 2003. So because the Ultima and the Maxima for like, I don't know, 15 years were so similar in style that just buy the Ultima and save the $8,000. But I had a Maxima, and that thing was so fun.
When it ran. Like, you had the Volkswagen, no Nissan Maximas.
I did. I had the worst example, but I still really liked it. It was really lightweight. It really, and I had one of the only manual transmission fucking SE Maximas. In your favorite color, Steve, champagne color.
Yikes.
Actually, it was called Sunlit Sand Metallic. That shit was beige.
Yeah.
it was all the way beige.
Had it not been metallic, it would have been prosthetic.
Yeah,
Which is something I always had fun back in the day, referring to like, the Desert Sand Tacoma as prosthetic.
Yeah, or hearing aid.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't that egregious, but it wasn't my favorite color of car I've ever had.
Now, for what's worth, the advantage is that makes the car invisible.
It does. It really does. Toyota has recalled all of their BZ4Xs due to the wheels falling off under hard cornering.
I think we might have covered this on a previous episode, but hot damn, Toyota ain't what the Toyota used to be.
Well,
like, they finally go fully electric rather than just yet another hybrid and fuck it up.
The recall also extends, and I didn't realize the sister car to that is the Subaru Solterra. Exactly the same thing underneath. I didn't realize that. Because you know what? I have not seen a Subaru Solterra out in the wild.
I've not seen the Toyota BZXR 4 Ti or whatever the hell this thing is.
Thanks, Merkur. It's a Merkur. I have not seen that in the wild either. Steve, at Mecum Auto Auctions, they just sold it.
Otherwise, you sound a little too excited about the car.
Hey-o. They just sold a 99 bone stock two-door Chevrolet Tahoe for how much money? It's not excessively a much, but it's still a lot for a two-door bone stock Tahoe.
$100 kilo dollars.
Nah, not that much.
50.
$43,000. But that's a lot for a car that 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you could have got that car for $6,000.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I still think that's a really good-looking truck, though.
But you know what's cooler than that one, though? A 70s two-door Suburban. Like what we saw at Cars and Coffee a month ago.
That was cool.
Like, oh no, we missed Cars and Clusterfuck yesterday.
Well, even if
I just look at the highlights reel from their Instagram.
Yeah, it's that might not be. I can't go every month. Even if I had the S2K, like
that's the first time in 4 years. It's like I don't feel I missed this.
I'll go at most quarterly.
I think I'll check it out. Maybe not October. I'll be out of town. November maybe.
Yeah, quarterly would be enough to go. Like, I mean, it's cool, but like it's so chaotic. If it were closer,
yep,
and it were more organized, maybe. But this too much, man. And then I guess the guy almost kind of wanted to get into an argument with me because I said something about the parking, people parking, and he's like, "There was no parking signs anywhere." I'm like, and that's why I messaged you. I was like, "Yes, there was."
And why? Yes, I've got a picture.
Don't park on the corner,
you big dum dum.
Especially
what are you gonna do? Fit a tow truck through there?
No, but we could make a fucking human circle and just let all the air out of your tires. That's not really vandalism? Is it?
Hey, you broke the rules. Something's going to happen.
An illegal is just a sick bird.
I think we'd have to make best of a pallet jack. Just have that haul a car off with it.
Be amazing. Volkswagen has released the pricing of the 2026 Scout, which we talked about.
How in the hell? Wait, International Harvester's not been selling passenger vehicles since 1980, so there's that.
I think if I had one, I think my plate would be of sorrow, and I would drive the Harvester of Sorrow.
Nice.
From Metallica.
Yeah, those don't hold up well.
Nah.
My old roommate when I lived in Raleigh had one.
Mm-hmm.
He was without a car much of the time. I wound up getting a Pontiac G6 instead to have something that ran.
Speaking of Volkswagens and Scouts, you know what also doesn't hold up very well other than Scouts? Volkswagens. So it says it's going to start around 40 grand, and I put, yeah, right, right beside it. Because it's huge. It's an SUV. It's from Volkswagen Group. And it's an EV. There's no fucking way there's going to be 40 grand.
No way that's going to be... I don't know how big
It's big.
said thing's going to be. Like,
It's
like a...
It's Escalade big. It's that... in the pictures, it looks that big. You seeing it? Steve's currently downloading it to his eyes. Pithead.
Aim to sell up to 250,000 Scout branded vehicles annually in the U.S.
Not happening. Because the
Yeah.
F-150 Lightning is going to shit all over all of that. Because Americans like SUVs, but they love trucks. And actually, the Lightning looks pretty fucking cool, too. So
Looks like an F-150.
it does, but it also has a giant trunk in the front where the giant
Trunk.
engine used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you have a bed for uncovered things and a trunk for covered
Yeah,
things.
it's like, well, I do really hate F-150s after the last year and a half, but the frunk is cool.
Frunk's always cool. DeLorean state that their 2024 Alpha 5, well, it's going to have the gull-wing doors, a sub 3-second 0 to 60 time, 300 miles of range, and start at $145,000. So, roughly, what was the DeLorean back in the day? Roughly, what, 30?
25, 30 grand. Yeah.
Which now would be
adjusted for
80?
inflation. Yeah. It was a really expensive car in its day that wound up selling for twice what the initial price was during economic hardships in the early Reagan administration.
So, double the
But
price.
they only sold 9,000 cars.
I wonder how many are still on the road.
Among the many, about 6.
6
among-
or 6,000?
6K.
Okay.
Among the many, many, many troubles of the company and John, yeah.
Well, it's hard to wreck it when it never, ran really good anyway. It's always in the garage.
I really hate it when a train runs over it.
But also, you're not going to spin out for power reasons because it didn't have any of that
Yeah.
either. Yet, everybody secretly still wants one.
Yeah.
Until
But
you get it.
Know what the neat thing about my silver car is?
What's that?
I don't have to talk to anybody at the gas station. I don't have to talk
True.
to anybody at a stoplight.
Yeah.
No one gives a flying fuck about a Corolla. Or the DeLorean, like Matt Ferris said, you're going to be annoyed to death by the general public driving this fucking car.
Yeah. The only thing I have to do is wave.
Yeah.
Don't have to talk to anybody.
You are your own Nesquik ad.
I am my own Nesquik ad. Be the Nesquik you be the bunny
Pay
you
no
wish to
attention
be.
to the many malfeasances of Nestle at that.
True.
Water rights in Michigan for $400. You ape shit.
You do notice? Did anybody else notice that the Energizer Bunny and the Nesquik Bunny do kind of look like they were drawn by the same dude?
Yeah.
I wonder if they were drawn by the same dude.
My Uncle Dave has a plush Energizer Bunny and has for like 30 years.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Somehow he acquired one and it's at his house, quintessential meat and potatoes, tough guy Dave.
Yeah.
Also has a plush pink Energizer Bunny that's like 3 feet tall.
Oh, it's that big.
It's massive.
So it needs to go with the giant box of Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
Does it do anything? Does it
No,
take battery?
it's just a giant plush bunny, and it's just really softens the guy.
See, that would really be a great punk band name. Would be Giant Plush Bunny. We are Giant Plush Bunny.
Yeah, but your drummer's really gonna hate having have the marching band drums doing that.
Oh, that's every song.
Yes.
Same beat. Yes. Modern hip hop. Princess Diana's Ford Escort RS2 Turbo is up for auction.
Oh my!
That would be cool as fuck. I don't know anything about it other than they didn't sell it in the U.S.
Yeah, the European Escorts were much more entertaining.
Your Cosworths,
Yeah, the Automotos too.
Heyo. And also, yes, you're right. I've never been, but it's got to be better than ours. You Anybody out here have
Focus, man, focus.
anybody out here not have a deviated septum? I need to go to Europe. You've been to Germany only, right? Or have you been to England?
Yeah, it was just Germany.
Just so straight to Germany.
Yeah.
Okay.
Atlanta to Frankfurt, and then bust over to Munich.
How long were you there?
3 weeks.
That's a trip.
Summer of '99.
Jesus, that's a trip then. Yeah, we're still thinking about Ireland, so if we're going to do that, we need to probably book that pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do it. So I kind of want to do an overnight and then try to sleep on it, just take a bunch of Ambien or something, and kind of reset my brain a little bit so that when we land, if I've been asleep the whole time, doesn't matter if it's 10 a.m. when you land. It's like, you just slept in a little bit. But I need to start looking at that because it's already fucking August.
Uh-huh. My folks went to Scotland a few weeks ago after 2 weeks. They got back that Monday morning. Wednesday, they tested positive for COVID. They're doing better now.
Any symptoms?
Mostly just bad cold.
Emily's mother and father went to Romania.
Pardon?
Yeah, they did what's the fucking? They did a river cruise or something. They did something out there in Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
and then they got back, and she tested positive for COVID, and he did not. And they were together the whole time.
Kaylin's folks had a river cruise from Netherlands to Switzerland, and other members of their party tested positive as soon as they got back to the States, but they still haven't had it.
It's such a weird...
real strange.
I'm surprised I only have had it once because I work with the general public, and general public are fucking disgusting human beings. So, but yeah, they were in Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary. They did some cool shit. Like I don't want to do that.
The family I stayed with when in Germany were ethnically German, but had been in Romania until 1987.
Oh, and Romania was still communist until fucking
92.
Yeah. They were one of the last ones.
Yeah, and both parents were chemical engineers, so they were doing okay with their 4-level townhouse.
Fuck.
Yeah, it had a cellar, base level, and like 2 levels above ground.
Yeah,
or 2 levels above the main level.
Do you remember the dictator's name in Romania?
Ceausescu.
Yes,
Nikolai. Can't spell it.
Nikolai Ceausescu.
Yeah, thanks, Top Gear.
Yes,
that where they go racing around the castle.
That
was fantastic.
I want to do I'd like to go to Sarajevo or Mostar, and it would be so cool to go to somewhere tourists don't usually go, because then A, it's not busy, and B, you get to see a whole bunch of new Everybody says, for God's sakes, when you go to Paris, go see, if you want to go see the Mona Lisa, cool, but you can't get any closer than about 150 feet from it, and it's this fucking big. You can't, you're going to wait for 2 hours to go, there's the Mona Lisa.
Well, my sister-in-law and her husband went to France and Switzerland years ago. It's like, yep. So they went to the Louvre. Neat.
Yep. Or the Arc de Triomphe, if you want to take your life into your own fucking hands. You seen the traffic jam around that thing?
No.
Jesus Christ. Look at the road. You know what? Actually, yeah, pull up the Arc de Triomphe and just look at the map and just how many roads bisect each other and dodecahedron sect each other. It's insane. Enhance. Steve, you look confused.
Oh, no.
Oh, you see it now, don't you?
Yeah, forget 5 points. This is the 12 points.
It's terrible, man.
Traffic circle from hell.
and because it's Europe, there's no road, there's no lights or anything. That's awful.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of car news today. I thought that was it. Nope. Steve, Honda released the Civic Type R with more mature styling and the most powerful engine they've ever put in a Honda product was 316 horsepower.
So it made it one more than the Golfer.
Yep. And you know what?
Which apparently Volkswagen may be axing the Golf after this generation. But,
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Not even going electric, just axing it completely.
or maybe not resuming electric because they already had the e-Golf.
Which is a stupid fucking name.
Well, that was going to be the Golf E.
Well, they should
You
have
get
made
the Golf E or the Golf R. What about the rest of the alphabet, man?
They should have made a two-door Golf instead of call it GTI. They could have called it the miniature Golf.
They actually did away with selling the two-door
The putt-putt.
Golfs.
Golfs.
Dwarves, Golfs,
Ew. I don't even like saying
Golfs.
Golfs.
Spelled gloves wrong.
Ugh, Golfs.
But yeah, the two-door, or I guess technically three-door Golf got the axe here a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So anytime you see one with two doors on its sides instead of four, it's kind of a rare sight now. Never mind, both my GTIs were the three-door variety since that didn't exist yet.
Yeah. And I've only driven one. No, I drove an Audi, but I've never actually driven a Volkswagen product in my life. Am I missing anything?
Ever driven a Honda with some European flair? That's about the feeling.
I will say the Audi drove really nicely, but the old story, it was between that and the TSX and the Saab 9.3. And the Saab 9.3
chose wisely.
The Saab 9.3 was the fastest one, and the Audi was the nicest one on the inside, but the Acura was by far the better choice out of both of them.
How much work do you have to have done in that car, AJ?
0.
Over what length of time?
2 years. I drove it for free, and I sold it for $1,500 less than I bought it for.
So it took the same head as the S2000.
And I doubled the mileage.
Yeah. Nice.
And on the S2000, I only added... It had 57,000 on the... No, it had 55, and I sold it with 63. I put 8,000 miles on it
Wow.
in 9 years. It's incredible. And I've... Actually, you know what? I've only put on the Wrangler, I've had it since July. I bought it on my
2 years ago.
Birthday 2 years ago. So I've had it 2 years, and I put 25,000 miles, which isn't actually that much. But now I have a commute that's hilariously
even shorter.
Yeah. Hey,
I put.
how do you think? What?
I put about 17,000 miles on the silver car.
Jesus Christ! Can't believe you had it that
15
long.
months. Yeah, it was April last year.
Wow. This whole time going by fast, shit can stop.
I bought it at 59 and a half, and it's just over 77 now.
Sheesh. I like the new Civic Type R a lot. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I like the sheer lack of origami styling, but that's just the Civic in general.
Same, but yeah, it looks
Sorry,
good.
Mac.
Yeah, I really like it. At Pour yesterday, we saw a brand new Integra with the blue color.
Yeah.
It looks good, but it's only got 200 horsepower. Honda's stuck on 200 horsepower unless it's a Type R, and then or an NSX. But what can you do, man? It's still a good buy. It's still going to be fun.
Still more power than I've ever had. My most powerful
True.
cars were about $190 between the V6 Camry and the VR6 GTI.
It's still funny that I have the most powerful from the factory vehicle I have now, but it's not even the heaviest one, but it's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
The Dodge truck was the heaviest one. That one's 5,000 pounds. And it was a bench seat, two-door truck.
Yeah.
Texas crime ring discovered with over $1 million in stolen catalytic converters. That's a lot.
That's a lot of platinum.
That's a lot of catalytic converters. At most, $500 each. Most.
The one I didn't trade out in the Vibe might have been $1,000.
Damn, it was that much?
Or like technically, that car had like a double catalytic converter setup, which was part of the issue trying to get one to fit.
Well, you can get the Thunderbolt cats and then have them welded in, and I think that was $150 each. They were high flow.
Those from Harbor Freight.
No.
Wrong Thunder. That's their cheap battery brand.
Oh, really? No, it was different than that. I think it was spelled stupidly, so it wasn't. There was no fear of copyright infringement, which I had a Thunderbolt cat on the Cherokee, I had it it was a weld in. It wasn't a bolt in. But go bolt in. It's a lot easier because I know how to bolt shit. I don't know how to weld shit. Virginia's ABC board is under investigation for embezzlement as well as conspiracy to manipulate the allocation of rare bourbon distribution.
The things you do when your state borders Kentucky.
Barely, but yes, because West Virginia's
the big chunk of that.
Yeah. I've only been...
Or judging by the rules that the states were more bound in 1862.
Yeah. I've been to, by proxy, because I've been to D.C., I've driven into that part of Virginia. And I've been to Danville, and I've been to Richmond. And I didn't stay long enough to enjoy anything, and I was so young I couldn't drink, so... Is there anything in Virginia worth seeing?
Roanoke's a neat city with the rail history there,
Mm-hmm.
and being in the mountains, it's quite attractive through those parts.
Okay.
Charlottesville's attractive. Never mind all dumb shittery 4 years ago.
Was that only 4 years ago?
Give or take.
Okay.
Richmond, being the capital, is where the East Coast operation of Stone Brewing is.
Oh.
The D.C. Metro is just more giant city around Arlington.
You know, I didn't...
Virginia Beach is actually the biggest city in the state, but between that and Norfolk is gigantic.
I did not realize
Norfolk.
Norfolk yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. Norfolk and way, pal.
I like that.
Thanks, Bob and Tom.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, the train service.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way, pal. We will fucking do it.
I miss Bob and Tom. Fuck off, Woody and Wilcox.
They're still at it, but I think their market share is dwindling. Right? I don't know what's happening now.
Is it like a Opie and Jim Norton conspiracy?
I don't
thing?
think it was nearly as bad as one going full Anthony in the process.
Yeah, you'd never go full Anthony. High ABV and NA beers are both climbing the market share in craft beer market, while the others are dropping. I don't drink the beer for the alcohol. If you can make it, the only things I've tasted that are NA that are really good are the milk stouts, and only because they taste like chocolate milk. So,
well, for every Juice Force, there's the Stone Imperial 420. Juice Force, amazing at 9.5.
Yes.
The Stone Imperial 420 at 9.3.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like this poured vodka in a standard 420. It's rough.
Yikes. I mean, can you finish it at least? But
it's
like a one and like
yeah,
one another.
Please not in a hurry to pick up the next pack with that again.
Yikes.
I can only imagine like what that would do trying to cook with it. Whereas the last few pot roasts I've done, we're using Fat Tire or something similar to Fat Tire. Mm-hmm. That's that nice malty Swedish beer.
Swedish?
Sweet-ish. Semi-sweet. Yeah. Swedish beer. I don't know what that is.
Well, Swedish fish beer.
Ew.
I don't understand.
Like
certain candies
I find
I don't
those
understand.
less bothersome than Twizzlers. I hate Twizzlers. I would rather eat birthday cake candles than Twizzlers.
I would rather snort Twizzlers than eat circus peanuts. Why was that a thing? That couldn't have been a good one even at the turn of the century.
No.
Like, it just chewy, green, gross, chalky flavored.
Oh, wait, you found green ones? I figured that the orange ones were already bad enough, man.
I didn't mean green. I don't know what
Your mind's eye is colorblind.
Ugh. Circus peanuts are gross. Actually, we had a discussion about candy the other day, and I love maple nut goodies. Do you remember those?
Nope.
So it's like brown sugar and maple coating over like pecans.
Are those the ones that are like in the like brown and clear packaging?
Yeah.
Okay, like I didn't ever knew it had a name.
Maple nut goodies,
okay.
And they're just like maple syrup, brown sugar and nuts, and
That's
they're really good.
making my teeth hurt just thinking about it. Go on.
No, it's like a softer pecan pie. It's like a
Okay.
pecan pie that you don't have to like chew with your hands. So Emily had pecan pie for the first time about a year ago. She's like, I've never had it before. I was like, try it. She's like, how do you eat this? I said, just like that.
That's often why you go a la mode.
Uh-huh.
Like drown in ice cream to soften the whole thing, and then it's going to be all right.
The move is butter pecan ice cream with pecan pie, and it's just a glorious, gluttonous version of tooth decay. CO2 is the new shortage in the and worry for the beer industry.
Saw something about that brewery out of Massachusetts lamenting that they have a CO2 shortage.
We have watch. I have plenty. Some more aggressive than others. I don't understand how that can be a shortage. Isn't there plenty in the atmosphere?
Probably a matter of the readily available pressurized variety.
Are you saying we should brew a beer with methane?
No. No, never mind the alcohol content of beer. It's typically not flammable.
Not with that attitude. It's not. Flammable beer. Who would be the first one to make?
Sam Adams.
Probably.
Like the even stronger Utopia.
Which is what, 45?
I think 23, so 45 proof.
Ooh, we need to make a mixed drink with it. And the Fruitopia Utopia. You remember Fruitopia?
Yep. Drank a lot of those
I
in
did,
high school.
And I would hate to see the sugar content in that today because it's a lot.
They don't call it high fructose corn syrup for nothing.
Do they make a low fructose corn syrup?
I'm unaware of such.
Assassin's Creed has its own official bourbon. Yes, that Assassin's Creed. It is 90 proof, 4 years old, and $69 dollars. Have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
A little bit here and there. Like any game in 3 dimensions, I don't do well at.
Same.
But I've watched people play it. I've watched part of one of the movies. It's a really neat idea, but I can't navigate 3D space beyond Doom worth a flip.
What is Assassin? It's not a RPG. What is it? Or is it an RPG?
Ish. More like action platformer where you go around and idea is that you're like a 12th century assassin and go around killing people.
Is that in the Dark Ages?
Yeah.
Oh.
They've had several iteration, so like different time period, but typically ideas like it's your consciousness going back in time to go adventure and kill stuff.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
If it's most games are not fun to watch, this one's at least entertaining to see whatever's happening.
Cool. UK spirit company Cask Share releases a whiskey called The Big Lie, which is trolling former President 45. Cheers, Cask Share. You're a pal. Can't imagine Cask Share is a big fan of Boris Johnson's either. Canned wine producer Bev, yep, just called Bev, B-E-V,
Short for Beverly.
lands Halle Berry as an investing partner. And Steve, Halle Berry is one of my... You want this one instead?
No.
Oh, Katink.
Katink then open.
1, 2, 3. Close. I love Halle Berry. Everything about Halle Berry. I am down with the mocha latte swirl. And
Pay no attention to her role in the James Bond film from 2002.
was it Die Another Day? Or was that...
Yes.
I've seen that bikini.
She's lovely, but the character is dumb.
Well, I don't think you watch James Bond for intellectual prowess of the female lead.
That was also far and away like one of the worst films, but that beach scene's quite lovely.
Yeah. Who is going to be the next Bond after Craig? Because at this point, I like Idris Elba, but he's in his 60s now, I think.
He's busy fighting lions.
also, yes. But I don't know. Connery was pretty old when he played it too.
Connery started at age 32.
Okay.
But that was a hard 32, and his official tenure ended at a much harder 41. And then he had that one other movie that was a Warner Brothers joint in 53, or no, at age 53 from 83.
Yeah. All right, I'm a moron. Idris Elba's 49. I'm a fucking idiot. I was going to say, let Matt Bellamy from Muse be James Bond. I've been getting into Muse a lot. Have you listened to much Muse?
Very little. I've enjoyed it, but I've not gotten super into them.
It's good. It's like if you made Radiohead a progressive metal band.
I was going to say, if you made a less strange Mars Volta.
Mix Mars Volta with Radiohead, and that's kind of what Muse sounds like. And their new one is so fucking heavy. Like it was like, we want to make a harder metal album this time. So the new one's like hard as fuck, and it's like he's growling in some of it. I was like, what? Fucking sign me up for this shit. We'll listen to that shit off air.
All right.
It is boss. Oh, I gave Greg this week. He gave me Tattoo You from Rolling Stones. He said, basically the last album that means anything about Rolling Stones. I gave him A Perfect Circle's 13th Step.
Nice.
Which is excellent, by the way. Back to the news. The average cost of a pint in the United Kingdom has soared to over 70% from 2 years ago. 70. So imagine going to Saucer and then them going, it's $7 pint night. What?
That's called a non-Monday.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been in 3 weeks. I'll go to. You going tomorrow?
I might have a niece on the way, so probably not.
You gonna go see the niece? All right.
Something family stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'll check back on the 15th.
I'll Skype you in.
They won't be able to hear me.
Just don't Skype me in on the birth. I don't want to see that shit.
The cesarean scheduled at 8 a.m. Ain't nobody going to be on that.
Oh, yeah. That just, I don't know. It seems, I know that's the way they have to do it sometimes, but it just seems kind of archaic, doesn't it? How we get this baby out of you? We'll just slit you from fucking east to west. Like, that sounds, is there not a better way to do that?
Well, sometimes nature says no. More about that off air as well.
Yeah, I got you. Mike McCready destroys $15,000 worth of his gear after a recent show. Now, this is going to be interesting, Steve, because you and I are not money bags, and I'm a musician. Even the shittiest guitar, I would feel really bad about destroying because you could donate it, somebody could play it. That's a lot of shit to destroy for exactly what?
Is he trying to get his Clash on or whatever?
Or, the Who, Pete Townsend used to destroy. I don't get it. And Pearl Jam's not known for doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know I know how I feel about it. I'm looking at the shit I currently own and I'm like, nope, you know what? I've never.
You have no compulsion to destroy anything on the wall?
No.
Oh, that ornament has it coming.
Even the ornament I probably wouldn't destroy. The cheapest thing over there is that bass. And there's no, you could give me $250 right now to destroy and I wouldn't do it. Even though I could buy another one. I still wouldn't do it. Because it still has use. I don't want to destroy something that has use. Now, if the guitar was busted and there was a crack in the neck and it wasn't usable anymore, it'd be fun to do. But $15,000 worth of, come on.
Hey, Mike. Next time, destroy $15,000 worth of printers. We've seen Office Space. We envy that scene.
And damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Brendan Small of Death Clock reports 12 guitars stolen from the tour bus.
Shit.
That sucks. What kind of piece of shit does that? Anywho.
Who would have thought, Cartoon becomes world's biggest metal band, just like in this show.
Yeah, really.
Two folks like coffee from the hills of
Columbia. Echo Park Guitars of Michigan is producing new guitars called Sinkers, made from wood found at the bottom of Lake Michigan.
So named for the dealership of Independence,
Also, yes.
which, last I checked, was an all-automatic fleet.
Yikes. So, dead. Dead. You can do that with wood you reclaim, but you have to really make sure it's dried out, like really dry.
Doesn't sound like a good idea.
It won't resonate if it's, so it's all electric slab body guitars, like those. You couldn't make an acoustic out of them. You'd have to really dry it out, like for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. But you could do it.
Are you saying with this wood you need to kill me softly?
I'm trying to think of a Fuji pun, but
Sometime.
Winamp is now available again for download.
I kept using the charred hulk of it for a while, but it kept crashing when I put 25,000 songs into it.
It was either that or Real Player.
Yep.
And Winamp, you could adjust the sound and make it sound good.
Yeah.
So I used Winamp for a long time. I remember the skins you could put over it. It was cool as fuck, man.
That was a lot of fun.
Get off our lawn, children. Mudvayne's Chad Gray falls off the stage while playing the song Not Falling.
I don't think he understands what he thinks this song means.
Yeah, the same night we went. Oh, I went to see Coheed and Cambria and Alkaline Trio.
And you
2 weeks
melted.
ago. It was, A, I melted, but B, my face got melted because it was awesome. I have not delved into the catalog of either band that much, but it was excellent. Like, really, really good. Totally recommend any metalhead going to see Coheed, and honestly, any music fan go see Alkaline Trio. Was great, too. Evidently, the girl who opened for both of them was not very good, but
The only song I remember was something like they had opened with the phrase "shaking like a dog shitting razor blades."
they played that. I didn't realize that
was a neat tune. Like, I don't remember anything else from them.
I didn't realize the guy from Alkaline Trio was the same guy who replaced Tom DeLonge in Blink-182.
Okay.
That's the guy. So, surprise. Steve, last but not least, Amazon accidentally uses a photo of Steel Panther for their new Motley Crue documentary. I knew you'd love that. That's why I saved it for last. Because I don't want to know who's sucking my dick tonight.
They could be just like Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Well, Steve, do we want to do a car topic? If we do, I say we do Thunderbird. That'd be cool.
Sure.
Or if we do music topic, we can do pretty much any fucking thing we want.
T-Bird!
Let's do T-Bird. I can't wait to do this because would it be an accurate description of the Thunderbird? Thunderbirds had probably one of the most interesting histories of the nameplate of any car that's ever existed.
It's convertible. It's a sports car. It's a personal luxury coupe. It's everything you want to be over its checkered 50-ish year history.
Yep, it's been the car of the year for a nudie magazine. Evidently, I can't spell. All right, there we go. So
That's why you just say T-BIRD. Much like, was it Jaybirds around the corner?
which I still haven't been to.
Me neither.
Probably won't go to either.
I'm in as big a hurry to go to that as I am to O'Malley's Pub.
O'Neill's?
Yeah, them too.
O'Malley's is the good wing joint
yeah.
in Silva.
Yeah, O'Neill's always looks like someone's going to get thrown out the window.
Would you be interested in Cabin Trip this year?
Perhaps.
Nobody else can go, and I would love to fill that. A, because I don't want to pay extra for a giant cabin, and B, because you haven't been in a while, and I really love for you to come. So maybe talk with the missus. We could discuss that all.
Given that the house prospects have been few far between and not getting any cheaper.
Yeah, Brian's listed their house for sale. They've had 3 showings, but no offers. Probably because that's what it's listed for.
Shit. I was guessing 50 fewer.
They will probably eventually get that, but
Yeah.
it won't sell as quickly as... Because you haven't even been in the basement. Basement is like a brand new... is a different house. It's another house downstairs. Anywho.
Could you just, like, keep the house and we could rent it?
How about I just sell this house and then you and me and...
Let's start a commune.
What are we? The Church of...
I'm sorry, what?
well, no, we don't have to pay taxes for a church. So we're going to be the church.
I like Temple better.
We're the temple of music, cats, beer, bourbon, cigars, computers.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
Triple C. It's
Cars, cats, computers.
cars, cats, and computers, cigars. So I'm on Wiki, SD Bun. 1955.
I can't drive 1955.
I don't think you'd want to. Until 97. And then 2002 to 05. 11 generations of Thunderbird. I didn't realize there were that many generations, actually. I thought it kind of ran long cycled. It has been everything, Esteban. It has been convertible, 4-seat hardtop coupe, 4-seat convertible, 5-seat convertible, and hardtop. 4-door pillared hardtop sedan, 6-passenger hardtop coupe, 5-passenger pillared coupe, and a 2-seat convertible. So this is why we said it's probably the most diverse, one of the most diverse cars that's ever been built. What do you think before we get into the nitty gritty of it, what do you think your favorite iteration of Thunderbird is?
Probably from the early 60s. It was like the radically Atomic Age styled one.
Mm-hmm.
Before it got super bloated.
Yeah, dude, I like that actually. It has like the fenders come to a point right there. I hate to be a homer, but I think I'm going to go with like the 88 Turbo Coupe. I like that because my sister had one. Phaedra had one. That thing was fucking haul ass. Let's see here. So it started out life as a convertible, 2-seater, but it was unlike the Corvette. I didn't know the Corvette was marketed as a sports car. I thought it was like a Grand Tourer.
Well, this is also from 1953, and the sports in the cars were less quick.
Yeah.
They were more bowling instead of sprinting.
Oh. So they were all 2-seat convertibles, first gen. And then let's see here. These designed from the Ford Skyliner hardtop. What the fuck is that? Well, that's interesting looking. I've never heard of a Skyliner. It's a Ford Fairlane convertible. It's called a Skyliner. A fully retractable hardtop in 1957?
Goodness.
That's incredible.
I know the early 60s Continentals had that option, but to maintain the hydraulics in that
Good grief.
is murderous.
How heavy do you think that system is?
3 tons.
Jesus Christ. So development, let's go in generations. First generation. So right alongside the Corvette, which honestly, side by side to a non-car person, it just looks like the Thunderbird was a stretched out version
Of the early Vet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you instead of the headlights being, retracted, just pointing them forward.
Yes.
So they have like little hoods over them.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, engine options. Let's do that. That Thunderbird was sleek and had a 150 mile per hour speedometer, which it never would have fucking reached.
Guess what else has a 150 mile an hour speedometer?
Your car?
All of my 6-speeds have had that.
No shit.
Yes.
Wow. Well, no, the
And
Acura had
they
one.
may or may not have seen 2/3 of that wink.
Well, the S2K was digital, so that doesn't count. The Acura had 140. The Jeep has 100, which is completely acceptable. Yeah. It'll do 100.
The
allegedly.
I don't remember what the 07 Tacoma had, but the 97 had 110 on it.
I think your Tacoma had 100 or 120.
Probably 120.
What's funny is the Eclipses, the 2G Eclipses had 160 speedometer. Yeah, I mean it wouldn't hit that, but
yeah, it's always funny to see like such high figures when in normal driving that's not going to be the case. Like see also the 80s and the 85 mile an hour speedometer. Whereas for the Back to the Future DeLoreans, they had to custom make a 95 mile an hour dial. Just so it's doing 88.
Right.
Never mind, it also has a little digital thing on there too.
Yeah. Original engine was the 292 4.8 liter V8 from the Mercury division.
Whereas the 53 Vet had a 6-cylinder.
Inline 6, yeah. Now
never happened again.
That 292 probably only put out, the horsepower that's in your Corolla right now. Right.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it does with so much more style.
Also, yes, which one would you rather be in an accident in, Steve?
Like,
since you already have.
Yeah, I think I'll crash a Corolla again, sir.
Looks like it.
It's like, shit, it's going to be another skint knee, fat lip, and mild concussion. Okay.
Well, Fat Lip was a Sum 41 song, but I don't think the other ones were songs.
My doctor said I shouldn't be in Indiana.
Nice. Should you ever be in Indiana? I take that back. Sweetwater's in Indiana. That's the only reason I would go.
Or Gumball Head.
Yeah, or the Indy 500. That'd be cool. With Indy cars, not NASCARs. Anyway. It graduated to from a 292 to a 312 5.1 liter V8 with 215 horsepower. 3-speed manual transmission. 3-speed.
It's already strange enough after I was so used to seeing 5 speeds in my youth. Mm-hmm. The idea of fewer gears being around.
Or one of the Vector. The Vector has a 3-speed automatic transmission.
Yeah, it was like out of an Olds.
Hilarious.
Yeah. That's possible sports car of the future in the early 90s.
How much faster would some of these older cars be with like a proper transmission? Like you keep the engine the same.
Yeah.
Like Emily's CRV has a 5-speed automatic, but if you put a CVT in there, that thing would get 35 miles per gallon.
That's where Kalen's car is. That is a 16 with a CVT in it.
It's the same fucking block.
It does, amazing gas mileage.
Hers doesn't. 24 maybe on the highway. It's not great. Comfortable though.
Kalen's will exceed 30 going to the beach.
Really? We'll probably. I thought we were going to keep it long term. We might just keep it a year and then trade it because that new Mazda CX-50 is hot, and so is the new CR. Have you seen the new CRV?
Yeah,
I like it better than the new HRV. The new HRV,
the new HRV looks like a rejected Ford Escape.
Yeah, but the new Mazda CX-50 looks real good. I'm gonna pull that shit up right now, damn it, because we have the technology, and we'll see what.
And I helped,
and you helped. That's a nice looking fucking truck. I like that, and we might just lease it. But honestly, I wouldn't mind getting Emily an EV because I'm the one that does most of the driving. Like when we go to the mountains, we take the Jeep because, duh. Wouldn't mind. She doesn't drive at night that much. She just drives to and from work. So like we could probably get her an EV, but I would rather stick with Honda.
Make sure the mileage is going to be within parameter for leasing.
For her, it would be because then I would because at this point, I'm probably just going to keep the Wrangler for a long fucking time.
Yeah, like back when Kayla and I started dating, she was leasing that CRV. Mm-hmm. So for long trips, we'd take my car.
Perfect.
So to keep the miles off that. And then she wound up buying the car outright and currently owes $8,000 on it. You can't buy a 16 CRV for even double that.
No, and it's in pretty good shape. I mean, you can bring it over one day and we can use the old Griot's polisher and bring that paint back to life if you want to.
Did you see the latest infraction against it?
No.
Something smacked it, so like there's this weird like scrape across the hood and like across the passenger side of the car. It's rough.
I'm thinking if we do EV, it'll be definitely a lease. But I think Ford's now saying, or is it Ford? They're not letting you buy out your lease.
Right.
You just have to lease it and then you should get another car.
Yeah.
Which honestly, who wants to replace a 10-year-old battery? You know how much that's going to cost?
Yeah. Of like someone getting upset, like replacing the batteries in their EV or hybrid were going to be $15,000. Like, you know, maybe don't eat a used car cost on the battery.
Somebody else has actually said, which is I've said for a long time now, I think the money is converting your old car to EV instead. Just like, oh, it's $50,000 for this EV. Or what if I take this car with a busted engine and you convert it to EV?
Yeah.
How much is that? $25,000. Well, that's half the fucking price.
We were seeing that at when I was, during my failed stint at UNC Charlotte, that they had like a 97 S10 that had been converted to EV then, 20 years ago, that they put an electric motor and the bed, like, all right, yes, the base of it was higher because beneath that bed were the batteries for it.
Yes.
But, a small old pickup is a perfect candidate for that sort of thing since you have the storage space already.
Yep. Although it would be hilarious to put all the batteries in the front of the truck because there's no weight in the back because there's a bed.
Right.
So everywhere you go would just be a drift competition.
You'd have to make it the dually just to have any traction.
A dually single cab truck with all the shit in the front. That's great. Could you imagine having like grip tires on the inside and then like off-road tires on the outside? So you look like it's tough, but...
I stepped it up one. It's an S11. Or the GMC S16.
The Thunderbird outsold the Corvette in 1955. 16,155 Thunderbirds sold and 700 Corvettes sold. 23-1.
Goodness.
But then, everything else happened. I mean, 225 horsepower back in the day wasn't too bad. But then the second gen came out, and we bumped up to an optional 350 horsepower V8 engine. But it had that awful fucking hardtop on the... it was like a... Ugh.
Give me an L, because it looks like an L.
352, 5.8 liter V8. 3-speed manual or automatic. Gross. And then your generation, Esteban. Take it away.
Third generation, 1961 to 1963. Redesigned for 61, but styling they gave a car a unique bullet-like body style appearance.
That's
They
sexy.
origined a 390 cubic inch or 6.4 liter fuel-injected V8. Holy shnikes. Well received, selling 73K in 1961. It was also the Indy 500 pace car, per earlier discussion, and also featured prominently in Kennedy's inaugural parade.
That's
no-
the good parade.
Pay no attention to a different Ford product 2.5 years later.
Yeah. 300 horsepower out of a 390 V. I mean,
Goodness, that's
For back in the
impressive for
day.
the era. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's still not. You did what you could with what you had back then, though. So, like,
And that being the fancy ass sports car of the era.
I didn't realize it outsold the Corvette like that, though.
That's super crazy.
Sheesh.
I wonder if the 58 Vet being announced, like with the different styling, could have shot Corvette in its own foot. That would be likely engine upgrades and changing from the single headlight to the dual headlight model.
Yeah. But then
So,
pop-ups
like
make everything better, so.
Well, that wasn't until
70.
63.
That's right, 63.
But the changeover from the single to the double headlight model definitely made it look better in my book.
Now that I'm looking at the third and the fourth generation, they don't look that much
They're
different.
starting to get real big.
Yeah, but they look the third and fourth generation look the same to me. The grill's a little different, but it's the same wheel well. What car has like a 3-year model run? And then, we're gonna redesign.
Like some cars have definitely encountered that instead of they can't all be the Nissan Frontier with a 16 year span.
Sheesh. Here's a fun fact for you, Steve. Fourth generation, the standard 390 V8 equipped with a single 4-barrel carburetor was 315 horsepower. Newly optional, taking the position for performance, was a 345 horsepower 7-liter 428 V8, and the optional 428 cost $86 over the base engine. Well, I'll take that one.
It appears that nobody is going to be buying that. It's like, darn, what's going to be the day? Like a $500 upgrade? Okay.
Like, Steve, would you like your engine in your car now? Or for $500, you can have a 225 horsepower turbocharged hot hatch. $500.
And
And now we're into the weird years.
Ooh, dear. 5th gen suicide door option. I didn't know they did that.
I didn't either.
That looks awesome.
But it's a sedan, though. I didn't realize they had they did have a hardtop sedan. Interesting.
67 model year was a larger Thunderbird with luxury appointments in line with a Lincoln. Interesting.
So that's a suicide rear door, but it had a conventional front door, so you could open up to the world. What if you did the other way?
Probably makes your chassis rigidity hot garbage.
You have suicide door on the front and the regular door on the rear.
Sorry, the doors collide with themselves. I hate when that happens.
I'm thinking suicide gullwing door where the hinge is at the bottom.
It's an airplane.
That's amazing. Well, suicide suicide gullwing would work, but a suicide scissor door, you'd never be able to get in the car.
Clunk. Like you'd have to have a really jacked up truck to achieve that. Like the door would double as your step going into it.
Or the move is the Isetta, the BMW, where it open. So gullwing door on an Isetta would just be a door on the front that just opens straight up.
It's gonna make for a wild front-end collision. It would look like my 1990 Volvo when it crashed, that the hood popped up because that was the only car I had with front struts for the hood.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, the front of the car got bashed in, so the hood popped up.
Jesus,
it was a mixed blessing crashing that one because every time the car went in the shop was $500.
But it was safe though, right?
I can prove that.
What you want to split a chocolate wow or a stay positive?
Chocolate wow. That's what I call beer.
Well, that's what I call beer. We're going to have to split it in our whiskey glasses.
Okay.
I don't like the 5th generation.
It's strange that it looks like a Cougar, assuming that you're on the wiki article.
Yes.
That pale yellow one looks very Cougarish.
Yeah.
But it'd be bigger than a Cougar, and I have zero recollection of that car.
Same. I don't remember pretty much any of the 70s.
Yeah, by the 70 to 71, yikes.
Every Buick and Oldsmobile model.
At least those look good. This does not.
Yeah.
Did you have to make a pointy radiator for the car? Because that is an atrocity.
Pointy radiator that's an interesting
band name.
We are the pointy radiators. Damn it. This is the problem with microfiber towels. I drilled holes to put caster wheels on that cabinet, and I wiped up the shavings, and it all just stuck to it. So, stand-in towel.
I've got a lot of those not seeing use if you need some more.
I got plenty of microfibers. God damn it.
Funny, I thought you only had a little of them.
Making a fucking mill of a hiss.
Let's get you a neoprene tablecloth.
And just try to pull it off without pulling off all the shit that's on top of it. I don't think I've reached that status. I might be redoing the studio, so I'll let you know when I do, and then you can re-borrow back some of the shit you gave me.
Just like, do we want to keep the Hot Wheels collection? Else this could be worth the same amount on eBay.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm
This is cool. This is cool and all, but this could easily be sold for $1 a pop on eBay plus shipping.
You know what? If you want to take them all, except maybe the S2000,
sure,
for my own. Yeah. 6th generation, even worse, 72 to 76.
Ugh.
But wait,
just looking at this car makes me feel fat.
Well, God damn it, it gets worse. It keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
77
like
to 79.
Said, the 70s models really sucked.
Yeah. But it's still a 351, but God damn, it's ugly.
Yeah.
It's not worth going fast if you have to be ugly while doing it. I want that on my epitaph.
Well, the concurrent Mercury Cougar, the running joke was friend of the show. I joked saying she was a 74 Cougar.
Yeah.
Only discovered that car is unflattering.
Well, you know what? It got worse because the 8th generation, 80 to 82, they keep doing 3-year model runs. That is hideous.
During which
131 horsepower.
Yikes.
Boy.
Yeah, mine's got 6 more out of half a V8.
How you like the chocolate well?
It's more of a chocolate, huh?
It's a high wire, so. Which their new brewery looks like. Have you seen the inside of it?
No, but
Richard showed me at Pour last night when I went. He's like, well, that looks like a school cafeteria. And the seating and everything, it totally looks like a school cafeteria on the inside.
With anything like high wire, I was expecting circus. Hay floors, canvas tops.
Yep.
Some trapezes in place.
Several pachyderms.
Yes.
Which I'm very sad because in Asheville on September 4th, Ghost and Mastodon are playing.
Oh, my.
And I can't go because I have a gig. But they're playing on the 6th in Tampa. I can go on vacation. I have plenty of vacation time. It's like, I can go on vacation. Cheapest fucking tickets, $150 fucking dollars each.
Ever driven to Tampa? It's pretty easy. It'll take you 10 hours, but it's all interstate.
Oh, I was just going to fly.
Okay.
If it's over 6 hours now, I'm fucking.
Yeah,
especially in the Jeep.
It'd be about a 10-hour trip.
And in the Jeep, that's
a
lot of gas.
Yeah.
Because it gets shitty gas mileage over 75 miles per hour, and I can't drive 75 miles per hour.
No, you shouldn't. It's different.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What if you rented a car that's more appropriate for highway cruising?
I can just drive to Concord Regional Airport because they have flights to Tampa for pretty cheap.
Interesting.
So that's the idea.
It's
Brian
funny.
moves
Like
down.
there's there is this other airport nearby that nobody uses. I'm unaware of anybody I know having flown out of the Concord Airport that's next to the mall.
Yep. So you could. I think last time Brian checked it to Bradenton, Sarasota, you could fly. And it was like 120 round trip. So
Okay.
I would spend a lot on tickets. I'm still thinking about going. I want to go because I want to see both of those because the live shows. Mastodon and Ghost is a great bill.
Yes.
So
The first time I saw Mastodon was with Death Clock.
nice.
And then the second time I saw Death Clock was with Lamb of God. That was terrifying.
Master Clock. That is hideous. We need to skip just to 83.
You know, like not all covered headlights are good.
No. And then 83, it started to get better.
Oh, one side note on the 80 to 82.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, the concurrent Mercury Cougar could be had as a wagon then.
No shit. Wait, like a two-door, like...
No, like
or like a four-door...
a wagon.
Wagon. Jeez. Could you imagine getting a 302 V8 with a 131 horsepower?
At least it sounds good.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, it's like the 5.0 and the 3.8, a theme that kept in Ford line a really long time.
It did.
And then got my Bill Elliott car, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I had a sticker growing up tacked on to my mirror in my room that was like a puffy sticker for the Bill Elliott car from like the 83 Thunderbird NASCAR.
Yeah.
I try my darndest not to sound the part, but hot damn, I lived in this state my whole life, y'all. What's going on?
Same. 83 to 88. I didn't realize that the 89 Thunderbird was that generation, but my sister had an 80. I think she had an 88. So she had the last year of that one, and it was the upgraded model with a Turbo 4. And it would it would go.
That was effectively that with the SHO.
Yeah, it was a V6 Turbo 4, and it was 190 horsepower, 240 torque. And it would fucking fly. It was white with a blue interior because it was the 80s.
Were they calling that the Super Coupe then, or is that later?
I think.
I remember like by 90, the Super Coupe was quite the rage.
I think that was the 10th generation. But still, that thing would fucking scoot, man. Like, it would really move. And because it was my sister, she had a lead foot, and that was one of my introductions to speed. My dad kind of drove conservatively as he got a little bit older, so I didn't know the previous. There you go. Pour yourself another.
All right.
That's the thing about these little glasses.
This beer tastes like I'm so thirsty. Mm? Like the other day going to Monroe, whatever their version of Rocky River Road is all traffic circles.
Yep.
And I had a state trooper behind me.
Yuck.
Driving through. Like, what I should have done was
pull off.
Drive a 360.
Uh-huh.
Let him by instead of taking the traffic circle at considerably quicker rate of speed than he did, but still was like, keeping it 46 and a 45. Darn.
Officer, I'm just testing your driving abilities and making sure you're safe to be on the road. So the stock V6, oh no, there's a Super Coupe, had a supercharged and intercooled V6 with 210 horsepower.
157 kilowatts.
Does that mean anything to you? Are you in Australia?
That sounds more electric to me.
Yeah, it does.
That's all it really is. Horsepower's going to be dead when the EVs finally take over. Mm-hmm. Then the kilowatts will make more sense. But telling people, it's going to be 3/4 your horsepower will make 0 sense because we're dumb.
Yeah. Evidently, the 10th generation was the first one of the Thunderbirds to not offer any V8 engine.
Oh, no.
That changed, though, because quickly, in 1991, the V8 was again available with a 4.9 liter 302. The 5.0 that's in your Mustang is not a 5.0.
Yeah.
It's a 4.9.
They already had the Beach Boys song 409, which could have easily been morphed into She's So Fine, My 4.9, 4.9.
And also, really good at cleaning dishes.
Name for aforementioned song as well. Because it's powerful detergent.
Yeah. And we go, last year of 10th gen was 97. The SVE Thunderbird was going to be based around supercharged version of Ford's dual overhead cam 4.6 liter V8, coupled to a 6-speed manual transmission. Ford declined to produce the SVE Thunderbird and shut down the entire production line. How cool would that have been to have a manual V8 Thunderbird? Here's the fun fact for you, though. It's the same.
It can't be that hard to swap
It
it
can't
in.
be that fucking hard. Find yourself an old Mustang.
Yeah, I've never done an engine swap, but I think with the bits in place, how hard can it be?
Don't say that. And then Steve, Playboy's Car of the Year. This is the problem with nostalgia sometimes. I think out of all the car companies to do nostalgia, the Challenger got it completely right. I don't think anybody else
It's a
got
bit
it.
colossal.
It's a bit big, but crash rating.
The 05 Mustang is still pretty striking.
I don't love it, but it's striking. But that's more about my personal taste.
Yeah. The new Beetle, not so much.
When they squared off the fenders,
Yeah,
it was
2012
better.
model.
Yeah, that was better. Before that, not so great. Because you put the engine in the wrong spot. Well, it was in the wrong spot to begin with, but then you put it in the right spot, was really the wrong spot.
We're going to have a rear engine front drive model.
I love that idea. On second thought, I don't love that idea.
So what happens when you have one of the Beetle R and the rear drive axle isn't working?
Front engine and rear wheel steer would be worse.
It's a forklift.
Might as well be an Audi because the engine's so fucking far forward. 3.9 liter V8. A Jaguar designed V8 in the Thunderbird. 252 horsepower. And in 05, that car probably would have costed 50 grand.
I didn't know it didn't have the 4.6 in that car.
Nope, 3.9. Same one, Lincoln LS V8. I think it was the same one.
That was the V6 Lincoln LS was the last stick shifted Lincoln.
Yep. One of the only ones you could really get, to be honest.
The Mark 7 Conti had it too.
I love the Mark 8.
The late 80s.
Yeah.
The Mark 8
Mark 8
was another Pimoy.
Beautiful car. I love that car. I love the interior, like the swoopy. Kind of remind me of a 4th gen Prelude. Mm-hmm. A 3.9 liter V8 with all of 252 horsepower. And in 2002, you could get your S2000 with 240 horsepower and an engine half the size. And also a convertible.
And also, manual shift wasn't a feature.
Nope. Well, there was select shift. The 5-speed automatic with select shift was available in 03 and later.
With sales dropping off significantly after its first model year, Ford ended T-Bird production with the 2005 model year. The last Thunderbird was manufactured July 1st, 2005. Oh shit, just in time for my sister's 21st birthday.
Or my 19th.
But her birthday's actually Canada Day.
Nice. Very nice. So, yep, mine's still 88 Turbo Coupe, and yours is, you said, early 60s?
The early 60s bullet nose.
I think we've made good choices here.
Yeah.
Steve, you going to get to grilling?
Sooner or later.
You want to call it at that?
Sure.
Let's call it at that. I got to pee and I'm hungry. So,
Fair enough.
and in that order, because
Do what you need to when you need to.
yeah, 111's in the books, and 112 will be coming up.
Like whenever, man.
Emily's gonna have a party for birthday party. She wants to for her birthday. She wanted just to get together with everybody. She's thinking the 28th of this month.
Okay.
Sunday at Saucer, North Carolina Beers. Got anything going on?
That day, no.
So we might do something that day. Event to follow. And it's
All right.
very dark outside now.
They were making some rumblings about a storm at the Kraken now, so,
The Kraken now?
the Krakow?
The Kraken now.
My weather app's not really caring what's happening. It's like no shot of thunderstorms.
It's Lebowskiing.
But
do whatever, man.
It's not abiding.
Well, 111's in the books, and 112's probably in 2 weeks. And
Will 1-1 toodles.
1-1 toodles is a good way to end. And bye.